Welcome to BSPN Carolina, another episode on BSPN Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode on BSPN Carolina. Today, baby, we're going to talk about it. Before we do anything, people, I forgot. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Y'all be playing with me, but make sure we hit that subscribe button. But I'm going to get straight into it today, man. Y'all saw the topic. Coach Prime. Yeah, that Buffalo. That goddamn Buffalo versus Cleveland A. Smith and Finebaum. Yeah, two of the damn biggest clowns in sports. But I tell you what, boy, that damn Coach Prime looking good now. So make sure, make sure y'all keep that same energy. Yeah, Coach Prime, y'all already know when this man took this job at damn Colorado, Buffalo with Colorado. Now I'm gonna be real, and I'm gonna just keep it real with y'all on BSPN Carolina, the real ESPN. Y'all know when this man took this job with Colorado, that expectations were never high until Coach Prime took this damn job. But all of a sudden, Coach Prime took this job, and people feel like, he should automatically win a championship. Now, let's go from a culture perspective that most kids, most recruits don't want to go that far, and their parents can't make the trip out there as well. But nevertheless, when they got in deals and every damn thing else now, so we have more than a possibility that, people will be able to, at some point in time, at some point in time, be able to come back. But I just want to be clear. Expectations were never high before Coach Prime got there. And so after Coach Prime got there and arrived, why are the expectations so big and so high? Now I want to remind y'all, nobody else before even brought any attention to Colorado. It wasn't talked about. They never had a star quarterback, never had a number one player in the nation in Travis Hunter, but none of that. So all of a sudden, this black man came onto the scene to old Colorado after being rejected. Oh, Deion Sanders prime time. After being rejected from Florida State. After being rejected from Florida State. I'll say that again. Coach Prime was rejected from Florida State. Now look how that coach stinking up the joint now. Look how he's stinking up the joint now in Florida. Look now. I don't see Stephen A. Smith talking about Coach Prime now. And I want to say something else. By the way, on BSPN Carolina, make sure people that hit that subscribe button, all my followers, all my viewers, thank y'all so much. I want to make sure I shout that out. So, Rizzo, what's up, my guy? And so now let's go a little further. Let's dig a little deep into the thing about the situation. Now I saw Florida State got their ass kicked all over the place. The last two, I don't know about y'all family, but the last two games, Florida State looked like trash. I'm gonna just call it plain and simple what it is. Florida State looked like trash, and y'all know damn well Florida State don't look good. The quarterback that they got, DJ, it's hard for me to tell how good he is because, they lost a lot of players to the draft last year. But he don't look good. They're definitely concerned about how he looked. But I heard everybody went and dogged Coach Prime out about, he turned into be a shit show. Finebaum came on ESPN. And by the way, it amused me how, hey, Emily, how you doing? It amused me how we can criticize. I don't even want to say black people, but the culture. Let's put it like that, the culture. It amused me how I told y'all before how um, networks come on TV and come on live and taking. Hey, we'll talk about it, Emily. But it amused me how People get on these big platforms and then tear their culture down. It's crazy how they do it. I don't know why they do it. I don't know why they do it. But some kind of way, somehow, it end up happening. Now, Finebaum, supposed to be a known college, I guess, analyst, said that, Deion Sanders had been a main attraction and um, tore down, man, what y'all talking about? Top or bottom, bro? What y'all talking about? Come on, man, let's keep it professional on the show. Let's keep it professional on the show. So that's gonna teach you. Yeah, so it's funny how at the end of the day, how Finebaum can tear down. Y'all sit back and sit down. It's funny how he can tear down Deion Sanders' Coach Prime and say that it's over and everything else. And I want to remind y'all is that it's so funny. I get so much joy in this, man. I love y'all so much. In spite of all the crazy comments, I love y'all so much. So it's funny. Let me finish telling y'all about it. It's funny how Finebaum supposed to be one of these great college analysts, and he couldn't wait to tear Deion Sanders down because he was a man that played in the NFL and instantly became the face of college and the main attraction. I ain't making this up, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning to BSPN Carolina so much. And so I'm going to take my time with this because I got to make sure that this conversation is very seasoned and I give y'all the truth and nothing but the truth. This ain't ESPN. They're getting hyped up by ratings and everything else. I'm telling y'all the truth, man, that it's funny how they couldn't wait to tear Coach Prime down. And I asked myself, I said, well, let me see how long this is going to last. Finebaum got on there and said that, hey, Coach Prime had all the stars day, and it was all just a fugazi little fluke. Basically, like, hey, they was only coming. Finebaum basically want to say that they only came out because you are a black man that played, you a nigga that played in the NFL. That's basically what Finebaum wanted to say. Only reason why they came out because you was a nigga that played in the NFL, and rappers and everybody wanted to come because you was historical, making the state of Colorado what you want to make it, and you didn't took the job serious, and it turned out to be a shit show. I'm gonna give it to y'all straight raw on BSPN Carolina. I'm calling for what it is. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. I'm telling the way it is. You go back and watch the interview with Finebaum. That's basically what he said. Now, me personally, we're removed from that time in the world, from calling people those kind of names and everything else. But it don't change the dialogue and the mindset. You can read in between the lines what a person want to say. Whether it's true or not is another whole different story. But we got to acknowledge the fact is that Coach Prime was underneath fire this whole damn season coming into the season, and people didn't want to see him succeed and win. And that's what it is. I'm in the state of South Carolina, everybody. I'm in Carolina. And so now let's look at Florida State. How good they doing? Florida State look terrible. And I'm not saying that because I'm not a fan of Florida State. I lost my damn money betting on Florida State, number one. They look terrible. I think that we all can agree that when I say what I'm about to say is that I think Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, would have done a better damn job than what's going on down in Florida State now. But they passed them up, and they're like, you know what? We don't want this part of my program. Yeah, is it an issue? Yeah, white coaches in college and the NFL is a big issue. It's not. Let's not acknowledge the fact of the matter is that it's an issue. I come here to give you all the real facts and the reports, and it's been an issue for a while. This has nothing to do with which team you like or don't like. It's simply talking about an issue that is very important. And so, Coach Prime won't get that job. You got to understand, Coach Prime won't get that job. But you see what I'm on, right? For all the Seminoles out there, for all the true Florida State fans, I got a question for y'all. Do y'all believe? Do y'all believe? Do y'all truly believe that it's Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Horn Jr. went to the University of Florida State? We all can agree that'll be a different program. We all agree that it'll be a different program. Now the problem is they didn't want Coach Prime Day. How that turned out for them now? You know how that turned out? How that turned out for everybody? You know, hey, I'm just telling y'all plain and simple, man, that at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, it's funny how we sit there and dog our people out and our culture, and then all this come back and bite us. Right not real end. Now, I'm gonna show y'all something else. It's so funny, man, that Stephen A. Smith, when he was on First Take, also went and agreed with Finebaum and said that, you know, Coach Prime this and Coach Prime that. I told y'all before about that clown. I told y'all that he a puppet. He worked for a network. They got a battery in his back. He can only speak about what they give him to speak about. And so it's funny because, hey, Stephen A. Smith, let's don't forget to hold him accountable. Let's don't forget to hold him accountable and now start asking questions and call the league office of why Coach Prime didn't get that job at Florida State. Yeah, it's time for you to start doing your job, Stephen A. Smith, with your mess ass. It's time for you to start doing your job and call around and make sure you do the same thing. But here's the thing why I got a problem with Stephen A. Smith and some people like Finebaum is that it's kind of like you pick on who you want to pick on, and you make excuses for the people that, you know, whip your ass. You know, there's a good thing about me being on the platform BSPN Carolina. And people, if you didn't, make sure that you go and subscribe to BSPN Carolina. I got to start posting back more and giving you all this. But I got a separate podcast coming with called Champion Vic. So make sure that, you know, I'm gonna be live a lot with the Champion Vic podcast. And so make sure that we look out for that. I got a few new projects coming on the way, but just make sure that we stay in tune and intact about the next level. But we all can agree that Shedeur Sanders and, you know, a few other players, Travis Hunter, would have been a better addition at Florida State than what's going on now. They don't have a primary running game. They have injury across the line. You know, have a undecided. You know, got to question the quarterback position. You know, the running back doesn't look that good because, you know, the line is winning the game, the scrimmage. And so Florida State got a lot of issues to work through and work out. You know, and I also would be doing picks. You know, I also would be doing picks, people. So, yeah, Florida State don't look good at all. And Stephen A. Smith, it amused me how Stephen A. Smith can get on a platform and take his brother down, but then get on a show, the Stephen A. Smith show, the Cleveland A. Smith show, and then act like it never happened. And this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. These are the issues that I talk on. I will continue to speak on no matter what on BSPN Carolina. I will continue to speak on these issues. I won't let it go unnoticed, regardless, because I love my audience, my views. But why aren't they talking about Coach Prime today? And see, the thing about it is, they know not to talk about this man because they know, hey, we're going to make him look irrelevant. We're going to make him feel important. And so, nah, they know better to do that. And so they'll do the next best thing. You know, wait till he lose. You got a tough opponent this week, Nebraska. You know, and you got to understand, Coach Prime not playing with a full deck. And so even though, you know, he's trying his best, he's not playing with the full strength of a college team will have. You know, and so we got to take that into consideration because a lot of scrutiny going to come for Coach Prime the more that he played and the longer the season go. But we gotta acknowledge the fact. Mm. Mm. Go and get out. Go and get out. This one. We gotta acknowledge the fact that as long as the season go, that more people gonna come for Coach Prime. But I got one thing I want to talk about. Why ain't nobody talking about? And y'all can tell me how y'all feel about it. But why ain't nobody talking about what's really going on? Why ain't nobody talking about what's going on with Coach Prime and those Ball State look? And see, the reason why I give you all this and take my time with it is because I try to slowly but surely process the fact. The matter is that we tear people down all the time, and the whole world just get millions of views and go to ESPN Carolina and just indulge in it so much. But then when it comes to speaking the real truth and the facts, we act like we don't know what it is. You know what I mean? We act like we don't know what it is. I'm confused about it. You know how people sit around and pick this and pick that and don't understand different degrees of this conversation. Now, we sat there and watched. Coach Prime didn't want to take interviews with the media. That was a problem. Stephen A. Smith felt some type of way because he part of what? The go along, get along game, the media. See, all this is what I'm telling y'all people. All this is real truth and real facts, what I'm telling y'all. Got mad and dogged this man's name out. But I do got a question before I go and end the show on BSP Carolina. I want to know something. Y'all comment down below and tell me how y'all feel. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. Why do, and this is something very interesting I want to know. Y'all comment down below. I never, ever, ever hear Stephen A. Smith calling out hockey players, calling out baseball players. I'm confused. Stephen A. Smith, you ain't calling the league office on no hockey players. You ain't calling the league office on no baseball player. Please explain why. Somebody help me why Stephen A. Smith is not calling the league office, not bashing in major league players and hockey players and tennis players. Why he ain't talking about them? But he so much covered the game. See, I told y'all these networks and this publicity stunt that people do for money to tear down the black man, the black woman. I'm showing y'all and I'm giving y'all a primary example. Now they're gonna skip over this right in the third. I'm telling y'all right now, Stephen A. Smith ain't nothing but Stephen off Django. That's all it is, people. That's all it is. That's it. And so, Don, you say y'all underdog? Florida State will definitely not be a contender this year. But people, make sure that we subscribe. Make sure we subscribe. I ain't gonna hold y'all long. Y'all go back and look at the video, man. I want to know is why Stephen A. Smith and Finebaum don't talk about hockey players and baseball players the same. Now, I will remind you before I go that more than 50% of Major League Baseball is European or Caucasian. That might have a little something to do with it. It might. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the BSP in Carolina on YouTube. Make sure we subscribe. Thank y'all so much, family, friends, and supporters. Thank y'all so much, because without y'all, nothing is possible. But before we do anything, people, make sure, people, that we go to the channel and hit that subscribe button.